I wanted to check with you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners. I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present. And I think we have one correction on the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes?
I think it should read Vice President Diane Scott.
Right. Okay. So we have one correction to the minutes. Any other comments on the minutes? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes with the one correction. Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, old business to come before the board tonight. John? You want to do this splash pad update?
Yes. Currently, they're doing pretty well finished with the site work down at Abner Longley. Then they've dug the recirculating tank and we buried it. Now the plumbing begins. They didn't work Monday or Tuesday. They started back to work today, but last week they got quite a bit with the warmer weather. The two real cold days or Monday and Tuesday, they didn't get to work. The site work's all been done. Started work inside the well house where the pumps are going and all the motors and all the good stuff and where the plumbing will tie in. So all that's been done. Want to thank the utilities coming out right away. All those guys really helped out. Bobby Akers, Roger Rose, Bobby Taylor, Ryan Ottinger, all of them were out on a beck and call. It was one of those things that it wasn't in the plans and drawings. We all figured it out on site and didn't hold up the project, which is really important at this time. Every day counts. And anyway, dug about a 20-foot hole, poured some cement this last week, and got this great big old tank. I don't know if you saw pictures on our Facebook page, but it's huge. And moving forward, all the site work, as I said, has been done, completed. Looking forward to it. Some details that are still getting worked out on some of the finishes and what we're doing, but back on track. It looks like a middle of May is what we're shooting for. May 15th is the date. Hopefully they can be a little earlier in that. The superintendent on the job has never had a deadline, and he said, but I won't miss one. So there again, that's pretty encouraging. He's a really go-getter, and he's keeping all the parts moving down there, and really appreciate his hard work. And that's all I had. Any questions? Anything?
I was out there today.
They're moving.
They were hustling.
Yeah, they are. And he's going to keep the dirt work moving because we're putting a sidewalk that attaches from the splash pad over to the sidewalk that goes to the restrooms and the shelter. We're tying one in so there is access, handicap accessibility, which we had discussed in the pool group that we had. And anyway, it's looking good. He's going to keep moving on. All the fixtures have pretty well come in from Context. I think we have one more order to come in, and moving right along. May 15th is right around the corner. That's all.
Well, that's not far away. Okay, and now the dog park update.
Dog park update. They set a few poles, and actually they were out there setting the poles for the utilities, the KV69. They set the metal one sometime back and really did a number on our grounds out there. So we can't move the dirt. It's kind of frozen, and if it isn't frozen, John will attest to this, it's real muddy. You can't move it. Today and this week they were out and they set the wooden poles, which are, I don't know, how tall would you say those are, John? 30 feet or better?
At least 30, yeah.
Yeah, at least 30 feet. And
probably 40.
Yeah, and just did a number on the grounds again. So we have that to deal with as soon as the ground thaws and dries out a little bit, so we can do that. We will start the fencing coming in this week or probably next week with the weather. But the fence company will start coming out and putting the fence in. We'll do 3/4 of the fencing And then we have to do our grade work, so we have to leave enough room open so they can hang their wires going up the KV69. We also have electrical to run. Have a meeting tomorrow, or I believe it's tomorrow Thursday, yes, with Security Pro. They'll be doing the security, so we will have the key fobs and discuss more discussion with that for the security of that. But the electrical, that will be going in probably in the next 3 weeks or so. Again, we're looking at a middle of May opening for that. We've been discussing, and Allison is looking at the grand opening for both of these and having little events to celebrate the opening. We're looking forward to both of those amenities coming in.
So they're going to open, projected, the date is middle of May or May 15th. So the registration for people to go through the process?
Yes, well, that will all be rolled out probably at our next meeting in April. We just got, we're finalizing the dog tags. The Parks Department will be putting for all dogs, we will be licensing the dogs, for registering the dogs, basically. And then for the dog park itself will be a separate license where they'll have to show all their shots and immunizations, whatever, for the dogs. Then they will have to pay a fee, which we're still determining to see what that fee is. Probably $35, $40, I think, is the discussion that Shirley and John and I had, and the mayor. I think it was roughly, wasn't it $35 to $40 we were shooting for? Something reasonable to that. Yeah, and we're looking at those prices. So we will roll that out. Probably April is when we're looking at rolling that out, and then, yeah, May, it'll have to go real soon, close to that. We'll keep you notified as far as that. We still have some prices coming in. The road is another thing we have to address. We're going to have to put some grindings down from the streets to level that road out. We can't afford to put asphalt in. That's probably $150,000, $200,000 at least for the roads, so we'll rough it out for this first part. We do have paving for them to park on back there, but that we did get a donation also Monday for the dog park. Somebody that I can't even think of the company name right now. Met him at a conference last fall when they were in Indianapolis, the National Park Convention, and needless to say, he had some leftover equipment, and he's given it to us. He also has exercise equipment, which was really, really cool, that we'll be installing this spring.
That fee yearly for the dogs?
Yes, that would be a yearly fee, and then we'll have it marked so when their shots are up, they get shut off at the key fob. Or what we're probably going to do is have a phone app where you can actually do it on the phone, because a lot of times people can give that key fob away, but if they're on their phone, they're not going to give their phone away. So we're looking in. That's what the meeting's about with Security Pros tomorrow. They're doing the security on this. They do all our video cameras, which they've done an outstanding job. I think some of you have been in and seen the new installation of our TVs in the park office, and yeah, they've done a lot of installation and upgrades, and we're actually learning how to use these efficiently now, where it can follow somebody walking all the way through the park, which is pretty cool that we didn't know that option was available. But yeah, looking forward to this. There's still some T's to cross, I's to dot, but the dog tags are in the making. Leedy Trophy's helping us out with those. He's given us 3 or 4 different samples, which I don't have them with me today, but those will be rolling out real soon. Hopefully April is what I'm saying at the next meeting, and we'll probably roll everything out then, and I'll have all dates and times and fees, and we'll have that all ironed out.
Mention a donation. The whole topic we had several months ago about a fundraiser effort and all that, that's
yeah, that's
no longer in
yeah, the
place, right,
community.
at all?
No, we're looking at other things possibly for that community grant.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that just didn't materialize.
Gotcha.
John, will they have to do an ordinance for these fees?
That's a good question. I'll ask that one. I'll ask our attorney on that. I think the park commission has that, you set the fees. That's how it's been always in the past.
Okay.
I wouldn't see that changing. that would have to be something that would have to be passed through the commission.
Okay.
The dog committee will come up with the price, dog park committee will come up with the price, and then the park commission will have to go ahead and make the, but I'll double check if the Board of Works has to approve that or not. That's a good question. And, yeah, there was something else. Yeah, well, I lost train of thought. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
I wondered, because if they did have to do that, it would have to be published, and I wasn't sure, because I know that was a little bit different than some of the things we do, so, yeah, you might check
Yeah.
into that.
Because shelter pricing, if you recall, we've done shelters. We
Right.
adjusted it. Haven't done that in a long time either. Same thing with all our user fees on our baseball, softball diamonds, and whatnot. So those probably in our pool, and I thought we'd look at those again next year, I think is what we're designated to
Right.
look at those in 2020.
Yeah, we thought we'd wait and go another year and then take a look.
Yes.
Okay, anybody have any questions on the dog park?
I have one more. At
Sure.
one time, you mentioned a way to maintain all the information, the data and all that, and at one time, the girls came in and shared with us a software program they were looking at, and then you let us know that there were some issues with that.
There were issues,
I
yes.
don't remember where we landed on
Yeah,
that.
no, we did not sign that contract. There were some extra fees in there that we weren't aware of. They did come back after we would not sign the contract, and came back, and they did come back to us and say they would drop those fees, but I wasn't too happy with the idea that they threw those fees in there, so we've found other software more feasible that isn't costly from other dog parks. We've got information, so we'll be able to track it with our current software that we have now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good.
It didn't, yeah, I mean, the other thing did so many different things. We could take money online for the shelters and things like that. And we still will look into something, but probably won't go back with that company. There again, if they're the low bid out of the 3 bids, which they were at the time until they threw the extra fees in. So we got to compare apples to apples, and I just didn't like that too well, so.
Threw you for a curve.
Yeah, I knew it was, yeah. So that's where we were on that, but
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, maintenance barns update? And
yeah.
restrooms also, right? That's part
What,
of the
yes,
revenue.
sure is. Yeah, the restroom and the maintenance, as far as that is also, the Board of Works will not accept either of the bids, so that will die, the work will not be done this year. We're going to go a different direction. We're looking at design build, where I believe the mayor has to appoint people to a committee to go through with a design build. That's the proper process. I'm looking into it, and we also have another gentleman that would be I think we used him on a restroom project about 6 years ago. He was a owner's rep, which we got both those restrooms done at Memorial and Southside, or Abner Longley, for I think $150,000, and that was using this owner's rep. He went out, got the bids, got everything, so we might go that way. So we have 2 different directions we might go, but we can't, $500,000 for a restroom and a barn addition just didn't sit well. So we're going to deny or reject those bids.
So
And
are
that,
we not looking at anything in 2019 for the new
no,
restroom?
possibly this fall. We're moving in that direction. It's got to find out these 2 processes, which one's going to be best fit for us, whether we go design build or we go with a owner's rep. We're getting prices for that, which I'll share with you probably at the next meeting too for that.
Okay.
Everything's moving.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can come to some kind of resolution on that. We've been waiting a long time. for
Yes,
the
we have,
restroom.
yeah. We might do some of the drainage work ourselves. We're working with the street department, and that will cut some of the cost too. Our maintenance barn lot gets a lot of water, and it's pretty well mud all the time. So we're looking into doing the drainage and bringing the drainage in 2 different locations. We're also doing the drainage on the dog park to save cost on that. And we're learning how and picking brains of some professionals on how to do that rather than hire it out, because if we hire the drainage out, it's just very expensive. So we might go that direction, but the street department and the stormwater is helping us out on those projects.
Okay, that's good. Okay, any other questions on the maintenance barn and restrooms?
Just a comment, Lebanon Schools went through the design-build process when we did the high school and the Herman B. Wells Community Center and all that. I can put you in touch with the right people with the schools if you want to just hear what they had to say about their experience, because that was a pretty extensive project.
Yeah, and we did that pretty much with our two restrooms. They were design build, but yet they were design build with an owner's rep, and it really worked out well. I mean, we got two restrooms for $150,000 that are very well
nice.
built, yeah, and that's just $500,000 or $980 or $80,000 just.
Cost prohibitive.
That's outrageous, yeah, yeah, we
Right.
couldn't do it. But thank you, yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
Sure.
Okay, any new business to come before the board? John, you're on again.
Doing all the talking, here we go. Our daddy-daughter dance will be held on April 13th this year, and tickets are on sale right now in the park office. We're hoping for a good turnout this year, and the theme is Beauty and the Beast. And we've already had a big outpouring. I think she put it out last week, and I'd say 60 at least. We've already sold 60 tickets, which,
I had
yeah.
someone ask will you stop selling tickets at a certain point?
No, we do sell them at the door, but we'd rather have a good count so we can have the finger foods and things that we have there, and just to make sure that we're all prepared. But yeah, now we'd like to a week before, but you know how it is. We aren't going to turn any little girl away and their daddy, that's for sure.
And that's just, that is open to anybody, it doesn't just have to be Lebanon residents?
Right. In fact, I think Taylor's bringing 10 daddy-daughters from Pittsburgh. So there you go. We have somebody comes all the way from Michigan every year with us.
Someone
Yeah.
asked on
Yeah.
Facebook if it was just Lebanon residents.
That's pretty
No,
cool.
it is cool. He gets it's his time with her, and I started with Kelly Cook a few years back, and came and called and said, well, we missed ours here, and they've come back every year, and they really look forward
They're
to
from
it.
here?
No, from Michigan.
Oh, but I thought maybe they moved away.
Yeah, no, huh? They just found it online because Daddy wanted to do something, and he comes here and he just loves our.
That's cool.
Yeah. And this year's neat, we actually have a beast, a costume, and then Taylor Moss, I believe it is. Is she a local talent?
Yes.
Is going to be Beauty. So really just excited about that. And I guess she's very good showgirl, a showman,
Yes, she
show.
is.
Yeah, so we're real excited about that, and all the little trinkets are already starting to roll in, boxes of stuff. So, it's a good time for all.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah, that's one of our neat ones right there.
Great event.
Yes. Our annual Easter egg hunt will be on April 20th at 10:30 around the cabin in Memorial Park. That's about the driest area we have, and we're hoping for no snow. I think your dad, John, was out there the first year with snow. I remember snow flurries going on. So, hopefully the Easter Bunny won't freeze out there, and it'll be really nice and warm because the Easter Bunny will be there, and we're expecting large crowd, obviously, with over 10,000 eggs. And Lori, you've seen it firsthand. They're gone in, as soon as you blow the whistle, and they're gone in 10 seconds, I swear. Yeah. And the squirrels enjoy them too. They get out there and take a few. The splash pad, already discussed it. In the dog park, we have interviewed over 40 seasonal employees and have hired and rehired approximately 39 as of today. Although the process has started, we're also still accepting lifeguard, concession stand, and seasonal maintenance positions. Anyone interested from 15 years and above, contact our park office. And the Conservation Club, want to thank John Lastly, Outdoor Solutions, for donating his time and mechanics and all that hard work, and it is down to the ground now, with a little bit of grading to go, but there again when the ground dries out. But that was a huge donation, and didn't do it for a penny, and Cost him quite a bit, and a windshield too, I think, out of the deal, out of that.
Windshield and about 12 plugs and tires.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of nails, yeah. But he did a great job, and we really appreciate that.
Yes, we appreciate that, John. Thank you.
Yeah, and they're just going on down the list. Everybody, we're cutting trees down currently, kind of run out of shop work. All our trailers, all our mowers have been reconditioned, everything's fixed. So even in this 0-degree weather out Monday, everybody was outside. So we're all ready for warmer weather. But cutting trees down, grinding stumps, moving. Whatever we can do, try and get ahead of the pack. But we have a whole list of things that we got to get done. Our pool will be painted coming up here in April. If weather permits there again, we're going to have to blast it. That's $62,000 to do that. They were the lowest bid. We do have it, so that will be something that we have to do. We have all kinds of events coming up too, starting in May. It's just going to be here before you know it. And looking forward to some warm weather, but we need to be out and going, and we are. So that's it. As I said, we had about 30 lifeguards. Jumping back to that, we had about 30 lifeguards last year. We're up to 39. We started out with 37 last year, but when we opened the doors, we were down to 30. So we're going to try and get probably 5 or 6 more. We did hire a gentleman that works at Mooresville Pool, and he does the certification, so he will be certifying all our lifeguards here at a much cheaper price than Carmel and Zionsville, and using our agreement with the Lebanon High School for the pool there, so that they don't have to drive out of town or anything. So we're real excited about that. He's a school teacher at the middle school, I believe. Real nice guy. He's been doing it, certifying lifeguards for 15 years. There again, he's worked at Mooresville, I think, for about 15 too. He's still there. I'd like to grab him and take him over to our pool. He's really good. Lori Frost has been working part-time, helping with interviewing and getting all set up for this spring. Real excited about her coming on. She's a big help in the office. We hired 2 maintenance employees, Clint and Micah. Last name's Clint Ames, and I'm sorry about Micah's name. I can't get it. He just started today, though, and he was out there chipping, all bundled up. You can only see their little faces, frozen noses. But, yeah, we're working at the Conservation Club. Everybody's stayed very busy. I think we have one more snow, and hopefully the last one coming Friday night. The guys have done an outstanding job on keeping our trail clean and uptown clean. I did hire we have an intern back from last year that's going to help with flowers. Also hired a seasonal, haven't totally hired her yet till all the checks come through, but an adult that will be helping us with the flowers also. So we got plenty of help. It looks like we still could use some more good help. And
Is that the person I think you talked about that would also do the ones around the square?
yes, yeah.
A lot.
It's going to be a lot. We really don't know what's going to take. And then, of course, right now you see Main Street's going. That's going to connect to the trail to the Patterson Street over there by the Arc. We did purchase a home that's on a couple of homes through the city. We're looking at different entrances. I think that's going to be huge going into Abner Longley. We needed to address that, so we need to purchase some ground around there. And as homes come available, we're trying to find the money available to purchase those homes. But that entrance is the only thing that I really concerns me. We're working in the Conservation Club now because our master plan shows where we would be parking in the Conservation Club lot back there by the dog park where it is in the back. That's east, right, not west. I'm terrible with that. Back in the southeast corner, anyway, connecting over there so we can have an overflow from the football field. You can park over there and walk through, which is in the master plan. So we're slowly but surely getting there. I think we're going to have a lot of hours in on it this year, and hopefully we can put a big dent in it. The youth football, I've met with them. went to their board meeting, and they're going to a Sagamore conference this year. They've never done that. It's always been inter-league play, but we'll be with all the, the Danville, the Tri-West, the Crawfordsville teams, Southmont, Northmont, Frankfort, and it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of traffic down at Abner Longley. Along with that, we have quite a few events that we've added. We met with the YMCA. Allison and I met with the YMCA executive director, Ann Kincaid, and I'm terrible with names, but their programs director. And we're setting up some really neat things, some activities this summer, yoga in the park, and I won't spread the beans. I'll wait until they're all in. I think there's another meeting tomorrow with them, and we're finalizing some plans on some more activities and some more events. Also meeting with LISA next week. That's the Lebanon Youth Soccer League Association, and that's Scott Milam, he's the president, and the varsity soccer coach. Meeting with him to see what we can do out there. We need to address parking at some time out there at that. They're parking on dirt right now or grass. We got some stone that was donated to us from the Northeast Street project that we got part of it, but and what other one? I think we're meeting also tomorrow after school with the athletic director, baseball, Rick Cosgray, the varsity baseball coach, and Kevin Kays, the grounds superintendent, and discussing our plans for this year. For the that's another thing that we are not going to be running the concession stand at the baseball this year. It just wasn't feasible. We were losing money the last two. I tried it for 2 years. We just weren't making any money. We had 2 people in there, and we'd sell 2 hot dogs, so it really wasn't feasible. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Some days you'd have pretty good days, but it isn't paying even for the help that's working. So pull the plug, let Phil know in plenty of time, and I think that, they will be running that however they want to work it, but it just isn't feasible for us to do that, and trying to schedule and open and unlock and just a lot more work. We have other things better suited for what we need to be doing, and they've already got it. I think their parents are going to volunteer and do that. Shirley, you went to a lot of games. Did you ever get a hot dog or a coffee?
I did get a hot dog.
Yeah, our popcorn wasn't very good, is what I heard. Yeah, it's,
It gets out, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. We ended up going to GFS and getting popcorn out of those big bags and kind of warming it up, because that was a lot better than our popcorn machine. It just not what it should be, and it was clean.
Parents run the soccer one. Like, all the parents work at the soccer concession stands. So
there you go.
It works that way too.
And we tried even with our state finalists with softball. You'd think that the girls, when they were state champions, that we'd have plenty of people. And I thought, boy, we can make a buck here to throw in. It didn't work out. So we tried that. Started out with 2, helping out in both the concessions, and then went down to 1, and it still wasn't profitable. So we went south on that. Also met with the 4th of July. Robert Wyrie is going to be the chair this year for the 4th of July. Yes, I know, talking about it in 0-degree temperatures, but yeah, it's excited for that. We already have the carnival will be in the Monday on the 1st of the July, and it'll leave the 6th, that Saturday. So it'll be the 5 days, have several entertainment, and obviously the ice cream social and the steak dinner for the band boosters and all that. All those are getting scheduled. Already have unbelievable amount of pool rentals. I think we have 27 days scheduled, and we have 20 of them already taken. So if you want to rent the pool, you better get out there, and it's limited dates. That's exciting. There again, we need to talk pool expansion. Looking into also pickleball at Abner Longley. We're going to convert those courts, getting prices on that now. I mean, there's so many things in the works. I'm not going to take up 2 hours talking about it, but if you have time, or if any of the public has any suggestions or time and they want to come out, we'll be happy to. Everybody's very well informed. We have a great crew that we have working at the maintenance staff. They're very talented, multi-talented, and just real happy with the crew that we have. Very talented, very personable, and the skill set is phenomenal. Just to say, probably one of the strongest crews we've ever had.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Good.
Got a strong leader.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, the girls are tough. We know that. I know who runs the show. I know. They are. I can't say that enough. Lori Frost has come in and helped out with a lot of the pool, and she turned a day before she left and looked at Taylor, and she said, I don't know how you've done this, all learning a new job, training Allison at the position, trying to catch up with what Lauren Lastly, which did a great job, but didn't have a lot of time to train her. A lot of this has been on her own, and she's very detail-oriented and very good. She reminds me of everything that I need to do before I do it. Same with the superintendent, Todd Jensen, and I can't say enough about the staff that we have throughout. And real excited about our pool staff. We're still looking for a couple more manager adults for the pool. That thing's a beast. I mean, we pull in 40 to 50,000 people during the year, and I don't think people imagine, how much work it is in trying to get, I mean, it's tough enough with a couple children, but when you have 40 of them or 50 of them to manage, it's interesting with their busy schedules and lifestyles. So, really excited about some of the captains that we have this year. A lot of guys are coming back. I think we had 17 that aren't coming back, which is pretty good. Most of the pools are struggling with getting help, and we've been really blessed to have the staff that we have and coming back. It's a fun place to work, but yeah, they're paying, some of them are paying a lot more money than they have. Frankfurt's pool, they're looking into what we're doing because it works. Danville's been out, but a lot of these different places, Brownsburg's looking into pool now. I'm sure Whitestown will soon, Zionsville. But right now, we're the cookie cutter, and we have it going on. So that's really nice to have a profit, too, coming in there.
One of the benefits you all offer with your high school and college-age kids is you offer flexibility, because they're
Yes.
all very busy and responsible
We do,
kids.
yeah.
And you try to work the
Yeah,
best you can around their
We used to have them work
schedules.
8, 10-hour shifts, and now we offer 4-hour shifts. And it's a schedule like they use at college. There again, that was brought into, I think, by my daughter, Abby, when she went to college, and she lifeguarded at IU. And anyway, brought that scheduling in, and that's helped out a lot, where they can actually see what they have, and if they're committed, they're committed, and if they don't, then they have to find somebody to do it, or
Great offer.
yeah, and it's really good. Plus the adult manager, that way, I mean, Lori's she's great with the kids, very good communicator. We do reviews with these kids twice during the season. Here's where you are. If you want to raise next year, you're going to have to get here. If you want to be a supervisor, if you want to be a trainee, and just a lot of good systems. We're going to have a lot to take care of. She's taking her CPO certification also for pools, which a lot of pools don't have that. They have one person or none, which it's not a requirement, but I think it's good knowledge to have. Now, we have our guys down at the maintenance barns that actually have gone to Purdue this fall or this winter, along with myself, and getting training and certifications and our to spray our spray license and all that, which is, the more knowledge you can get, it's good. And these guys, we got a bunch of smart guys working for us, so yeah, I don't know. I can go on and on, like I said. So that's a lot going on. Yeah, it hasn't stopped. It's busier this year than it has been in my 10 years. I'll say that.
Yeah, it just seems like every year there's more and more, and we have more park ground now.
Yeah.
And more projects going on. I don't know what it is about every time we do some aquatic thing, we have a really bad winter, because
Yeah.
Splash Pad has had some weather setbacks.
Yeah, the pool, if you recall, we went
the
through a
pool,
tornado,
that's
we went
worse.
through a snow emergency, and then, remember when the bridges went over and the flooding? That's when we built the pool, and we still got her done on time, which was
Worse
amazing.
weather.
There's one more project going on too, the shelter where the Rotary has come in to help out. We have the roof. I met with Alan Milburn a couple times. We're having electrical. We're having the skirts brought around. The skirts are the outside of the actual concrete area in the shelter. And there's like little skirts. We're going to bring them out a little further so you can actually put picnic tables out there.
That'll be nice.
Because they normally get muddy and whatnot, but looking at different people real close to getting some of that work, and they got to do drainage work at the same time. There again, Triangle, we've talked to them, and we have those 2 paths coming in this spring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's 2020 is our 100th year anniversary, and we're trying to get all
Right,
this
everything
and
polished up.
prepped
Yeah.
up and polished. And, yeah, and Allison's also looking into some type of event in the close to November, December, having some kind of park fundraiser event
In 19?
in 19, trying to, I think it'll be more through the foundation, the Park Foundation, to raise monies for them that they can help us out on other projects, and looking at some kind of fundraisers. And there you go, I've talked enough. If you need anything, anybody has any questions, concerns, or wants to talk parks, stop out at the park. Yes.
Thanks, John. Yeah, you have a lot on your plate. You have a great group, and you make us proud. Our parks are a great asset to the city, and everybody that ever comes into town, they mention the parks. So it's good that we're busy because we're growing and we're doing a lot of good things.
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, if everybody's had a chance to look at the claims, I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
There is one on here that doesn't, the correction doesn't match the price.
Right.
On that
Yes.
claim.
Yes.
This la-
That is all-
next to last one.
Vortex, it's right.
Yeah, did
Vortex.
I not put the right?
Right, the
It-
amount on there is not the right.
it
I
should
put a
be
line through it,
36, I think.
and I will
That's
correct
fine,
that. That's
yeah.
already appropriated through there, and
I was gonna say, it says it's already paid, but I just wanted
Yeah.
to note that it wasn't the right amount.
Okay. So are you making a motion then with the correction?
okay, there you go.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. If there's no other questions or comments to come before the board, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. The one thing I do want to bring up in April, our meeting, is that going to be spring break?
It is.
I will not be here.
I will not be here.
Not going to be here. Do you want to change the meeting, or?
It's up to y'all.
That date is April the 3rd.
I don't go anywhere, so, yeah. It's like, daggone it.
April Fool.
I wish the kids were little again, you
I'm
know?
going to Italy, so I might not be here either.
Okay.
Yes, you will, Shirley. No, she's not going. You'll be
So
back in time.
That would be the 3rd. Do you want to move it to the 10th of April? Will that work?
We
Will
have a
you
track
still be
meet that
gone?
night. No, we'll be back. Addison has a track meet in Tri-West, so I doubt that we'll be back by 7, but
So do we
Okay.
want to make it April
Whatever you want to do.
9th? Is that the next Wednesday?
No,
The
10th.
I mean,
is the
10th,
next
sorry.
Wednesday.
I guess it would depend on if there's any business.
Oh, there'll be business.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
we need, yeah, no matter what, we'd need a quorum
Yeah.
or we wouldn't be able to pay the bills.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Or do it the 3rd if you have a quorum. It doesn't matter. Any way you want to do it. The 10th, that's,
Yeah,
Miss
and
Jessica,
that's okay.
but
Yeah.
we would still have 4.
yes.
We'd still have a
So
quorum.
April 10th?
Okay.
I guess
Okay,
somebody
so,
needs to make it-
just so everyone knows, in April, we'll be changing our meeting to the second Wednesday in April, which is the 10th. There a motion to, could I have a motion to change that?
I move that we change the April board meeting from April 3rd to April 10th to accommodate the spring break schedule.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, thank you for joining us, everyone, this evening, and remember, we'll see you April 10th.